Without further ado, it is with great honor that I introduce to you the newly re-elected Senator from California, Dianne Feinstein.
I think there's probably not much in life that's better than to have that kind of an introduction from a granddaughter. Thank you, thank you. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Willie Brown. I remember a long, long time ago, Willie Brown was the very first and only public official to support me when I ran for the Board of Supervisors in 1969. And Willie Brown has been a friend, a mentor, and for me, a scholar in the art of politics ever since. Ladies and gentlemen, where are you, Willie? Would you give him a big round of applause, please? I think this is a very hard time to be in the American political arena. I think the country is very factionalized. They call it tribes. I grew up in political life and never heard of tribes. I heard of parties. I heard of parties working together. I heard of passing good legislation to integrate this nation, to make people more efficient and productive in their lives. And that was always the politics and the legislation that I understood and participated in. Now I go to the Senate with 25 years under my belt, with a great constituency to represent. This state, the 5th largest economic power on earth, over 40 million people, bigger than 21 states and the District of Columbia put together, needs strong representation. And what I've learned is because the state is so big, one really has to be very active. Because if you take the money from California, you can split it with a number of other states. And California has but 2 senators. So the ability really is to be in a place, a time, and on a committee where you can get things done for your state. And in the most part, that's something called appropriations, which I now have considerable seniority on. And when Joe Biden, some 20 plus years ago, asked me if I would be willing to be the first woman on the Senate Judiciary Committee, I said to him, Joe, I'm not a lawyer. And he said, that doesn't matter, but things here have to change. And that was following directly the Anita Hill hearings. Now, maybe some of you are too young to remember this, but I happen to have been in an airport and I saw a big group of people around a television set. So I went over to take a look. And what did I see but an all-male Senate Judiciary Committee grilling Anita Hill. And it was not nice. And it was not what one would like to see. And that was my incentive to run in 1992. It became the Year of the Woman because both Barbara Boxer and I were elected from California, 2 women from Washington and 2 women from Maine. And we broke the lock on power for women in the Senate of the United States. So we are now up in the 20s and growing. And the pride I take in seeing this institution grow, widen, and change is just enormous.